Hello Gemini, welcome to your weekly tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is for the week of February 5th through 11th. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, so I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond just what I'm telling you, okay? Remember that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And look at this, Gemini. We have your patron card, your rulership card, the lovers. That card rules the sign of Gemini. So I think it's going to be a very, very special week for you. I can tell that just right off the bat. Let's put it into some context here and see what else we have going on. I hope I didn't speak too soon. We're going to do our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. We're going to leave that right there. And we're not going to look at it until the very end of the reading. So I hope you'll stick around. And, you know, hopefully that will tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we're looking for at the very end of the reading, okay? And I do just want to make a quick announcement that we're getting that overhead camera. I've purchased the camera. I just have to mount it and figure out the logistics of it, but it's coming. I think by your next weekly video, we'll have that overhead shot for you, because I know a lot of people have been asking for it. I've been asking for it because I want to be able to show this to you guys. So we've got some air, some earth, major, some water. We've got some water, some fire, some earth, more earth. Quite a bit of earth going on here. Not a lot of air. Okay, so I think that there's some kind of a communication thing going on with you. This week, maybe even something that's lingering from the past is this kind of, the absence of communication. I don't know if you're in like a stalemate with someone, or if there's an issue going on in your, somewhere in your personal life. Okay, we have this Lover's card here. And I think you're the type of person that really does commit to people and things and ideas. I think when you've made a choice, you stick to it, okay? And I think this is a really awesome quality. I think that you commit to things 100%. You go all in. When you commit to something, you really honor that commitment. You honor that person. You honor everything that goes along with that. You know, I think you're a very, very kind of loyal person. You know what I mean? I think if somebody is worthy of your devotion and your commitment, you honor that for as long as you can, for as long as everybody is you know, kind of wanting the same thing. And I feel like this commitment, this devotion sometimes is a little bit sacrificing of other areas of your life, okay? I think that you're willing to give up a lot for that kind of committed, devoted relationship. This could be with an employer. It could be with a romantic partner, sure. I don't want to limit it to any specific kind of relationship. But I can see that you're someone who's very devoted and that you really do commit yourself to things. Things that you believe in, things that you feel very strongly about. And I think that's kind of the quality in you this week that you're kind of having to look at, okay? Because it feels to me like with this kind of devotion, there's other things that you've kind of passed up on or given up or sacrificed in your life in order to have this connection, this devotion. So I think this is the real quality that you're having to kind of look at and deal with this week, okay? Now, I don't know what kind of committed relationship that is. Let's take a look at the recent past before we get into too much else, okay? The recent past, I see the Two of Cups. This is the beginning of this partnership, this relationship. I think that it's something that you felt an instant connection, a lot of love, a lot of chemistry, right? A lot of sparks. And again, this doesn't have to be romantic. I know we say chemistry and sparks, we think romance, but it could be a professional relationship just as easily, okay? It could be a platonic friendship, etc. But there was an instant connection, and I think this is someone that you really felt comfortable, ready, willing, no hesitation to commit yourself to this maybe entity, this person this other being, right? There was no hesitation. I think you committed completely with your entire heart, and it's worked for a long time. Okay, I feel like this is a connection that you've had for a long time. Okay, I know the Two of Cups, it's kind of the beginning of the flow of the water energy, right? It's still quite high up on the tree of life. Ace and then Two, it's the second one. But I do feel like this has been around for a long time. Okay, it could be, however, I like to play devil's advocate, and I like to look at things from all angles. This could be someone that you've known for a very long time. But this devotion, this commitment has been a new thing. Maybe. It could be that the two of you have recently taken this relationship to that kind of devoted, committed level. Or that you've been with this company for a long time, but now you've taken that next step and really locked your career in place, taken a management position, taken a more devoted, committed, a more demanding role. Okay, either of those scenarios, but it's definitely something that's been around for a while in some form. Okay, I'm feeling a very strong connection there, and a very long-lasting connection. But then again, moving into this week, I feel like your choice to commit, I think everything felt right when you joined up with this person, this company, organization, whatever it may be, this group could be. And I'm hesitating to say this, and you can probably tell, but it feels to me like maybe you're starting to question your decision a little bit. Okay. And maybe we're here today to reinforce this decision. Maybe we're here today to explore some other angles to this and allow you to see things in a more clear light so that you can understand your decision and how to move forward with it or, well, without it, possibly. Okay. I don't want to say that this is indicating a breakup. We don't see any signs of breakups or a disillusion or any kind of a dissolving of this partnership or this, commitment. Nothing like that. It feels to me like it's just a more energetic, a more spiritual, intuitive kind of thing that you're going through. Could be something quite personal, quite internal that you're going through that is just bringing the focus back to your decision to commit to certain things. Okay, maybe to this person, maybe to this company, or whatever it is that you feel this is resonating with. It doesn't say that you're going to break up or that this is going to be the end of this commitment. It's just saying that, look, this was a really big deal for you. This was a huge commitment, and you felt very strongly about it. Now that it's kind of underway, we've got this hermit energy. I think this is you taking a little bit of time to reevaluate things. Not saying that this is going to just, you're going back on your word or anything like that. No. This is you really searching inside, searching for that peace of mind, that centeredness, that groundedness. This Hermit card is ruled by the sign of Virgo, and that's a very earthy energy. Okay, but it's a young earthy energy, right? So I think that it is, I think it's a kind of energy that is looking to not convince themselves of their actions or of the correctness of the situation, but they're looking for reassurance. Let's put it that way. Okay, I think you're looking for a little bit of that, and I think you're asking for it in the more kind of abstract sense, not from other people around you, but just from your own soul, spirit, from the universe. Like, just give me a sign that I'm kind of on the right path here, right? Because again, I think it's something that you felt very strongly about. And you didn't hesitate. It feels right. You've made the choice, and you are willing to forego other things in your life, sacrifice other things. To choose this path is to not choose a different path, right? So it's not necessarily that you're giving something up, but that you're limiting yourself to this path, this person, this entity, this whatever. And you just need a little bit of reassurance that this is going to manifest the way that you really want it to, that it feels like it's going to, but there's this little bit of, I think, a little bit of doubt in you, which is a very reasonable thing to have, you know. You're not naive, you're not just kind of jumping in, you're not gullible, you're not just jumping into everything that looks good and then learning later that maybe it was a mistake. No, you are really in touch with your intuition, with just the vibes of the situation, you know. And you're just looking for that little bit of confirmation or reassurance from the universe that you did indeed make the right choice. And honestly, you know, I think that's coming. I think that is coming for you. But let's look at some of these other energies. Let's see if we can dive into your energy a little bit. Down beneath everything, we see the 8 of discs. This is that little bit of doubt that you have. This is that little bit of caution that you kind of go into everything with. You feel strongly, you have that intuitive sense, it feels right, it feels like what you're meant to do, this is where you're supposed to be. But there's always going to be that little bit of, okay, let me pump the brakes a little bit, let me take a look around, make sure everything's cool. You know? And that is such an important quality to have. Not so much that you begin to really doubt yourself and kind of go back on your word and you're just shifting and kind of, you know, wish-washy, or just that little bit of caution that says, hey, let's make sure the scene is safe before we go and engage. You know? And with the scene safety, I'm getting a feeling too like maybe you're working in healthcare in some way. I don't know if maybe this is something about committing to your role or a new position within the healthcare industry. I'm just getting a feeling of that. And this card and the next card we're going to talk about, the 6 of Wands, these two kind of suggest to me healthcare. Along with the 2 of Cups, it all just kind of, it just rang out to me in that moment there. But that might not be accurate. I don't know. Sometimes I get these feelings. But anyway, you have this caution about you that allows you a little bit of objectivity to say, hey, let's just take a look around and make sure everything's good, make sure there are no red flags anywhere, make sure the scene is safe, and we can carry on. So I feel like that's kind of the mode that you're in this week. All right, whatever is going on in your life, I think this is the week for that little bit of caution, that little bit of, again, not self-doubt, but just that little bit of, you know, looking at the other side of things, looking at it from a different angle, trying to get a different perspective, asking what is not right about this situation? What are the red flags? Could be you're not going to find a single one, but you're looking for them because you're trying to maintain your own integrity. You're trying to ensure your own safety and your own longevity and future and happiness and all of these things, right? You're trying to nurture yourself, nurture your soul and your spirit. Like this 8 of Pentacles is talking about the right amount of sunlight, the right amount of water, in the right kind of soil for this plant to grow into what it's meant to be. And so that's kind of representing your vibe. You really care for yourself. You don't want to lead yourself into some really terrible situation. So something feels this good, you're going to pause and you're going to check it just real quick. I think that's the week we're in now, just checking it just real quick. You know, the last minute, just checking all the dials and the gizmos to make sure everything's set properly, you know. And now with this 6 of Wands, this is leading me to believe that you are definitely someone that, a few things. You like to share your spirit, your beliefs, yourself, your soul with other people, right? You are someone who really opens up tremendously to the people that, not to everyone, but to the people that you really feel connected with, or in an organization or something. You really give it this kind of commitment. You really open yourself up and offer the best qualities that you have to offer when you feel this kind of really good vibe, right? And this is not a ton of people. I think you value quality over quantity. I think you'd rather have just 1 or 2 particulars that you really can give all of yourself to. You can really open up your heart, open up your mind and your soul, and show people who you really are, what you're all about, the things that you believe in, the ideas, the thoughts that you have, the feelings that you have. A real openness, real openness. And not just the openness that can bluntly tell other people what you think of them, because I think you have that quality too, but an openness that lets other people in. And that's what I'm getting with the Six of Wands here, that you're both of those. You're very confident and blunt. You can be, it's very tactful though. I don't like the word blunt here. You're very tactful, but you're very to the point. You're very direct. And you're very open with how you feel. You don't really hold back. If somebody asks you your opinion, and it's somebody that you care about, you're going to give it to them. Whether they like it or not, they asked for it. Now, you're not mean or cruel about it, but you're direct. You don't beat around the bush. There's no question at the end what your opinion was. There's no ambiguity there. And at the same time, you let people in. You accept what they have to say. You share yourself with them, your beliefs, your ideas, your strengths, your weaknesses, your vulnerabilities. And that's just the kind of person you are. And I think we have this Eight of Pentacles because you don't do that with everyone. You are cautious and selective, It's quality over quantity with you. And there's the Eight of Pentacles coming into it. So with this situation this week, I think there's a little bit of this hermit action, a little bit of introspection, a little bit of just checking things, a little bit of just having a dialogue with your higher self, just to check in, make sure, does everything still look good? Is it still got the green light here? Mission still a go. In the immediate future, I see some really wonderful materializations happening for you. I think once you move forward with this and you get out of this phase of checking in and this, kind of conversation, this dialogue, you're going to have a lot of opportunities for manifestation, for materialization. Okay, and this could be anything from, securing that raise, that promotion. If you've kind of recommitted yourself to your employer, or you've accepted a more permanent position or something like that, or management position maybe, that's manifesting as, well, a lot more work to do, but a lot more rewards as well. If this is in terms of a romantic or platonic relationship, this is a lot of joint activities. This is a lot of time being spent together, time and space being shared with this person or these people perhaps. If this is more of the romantic line of thinking, this is almost like shared property. This is almost like you're getting a dog together, you're going to buy a house together, you're going to have a child, something that is going to be as a result of this union. I mean, even this card, suggests pregnancy and fertility and manifestation and materialization to visible appearance. So it's like you're waiting for this confirmation, like we said at the beginning, in order to go ahead with this partnership, relationship, this devotion and this commitment, and move ahead with these plans for this materialization, either the shared property, the kind of joint purchases, or building the home, building the family, building the life together, sharing time and space with this person, So I think it's going to be a week of kind of moving into that next phase of energy where you're going to be working on the materialization of some of these energies. I think right now is just the main kind of thing is this hermit energy, and with this lover's energy, obviously, to just say, hey, let's check in with things. Let's make sure everything looks and feels right, and then we'll move forward. Not a long process, a couple days maybe, but we're all different. It could take less time, could take more time. But it's just that little check-in with your higher self to make sure that you're on the right path. Speaking of paths, let's go to the path of the serpent here. And before I do that, I do just want to mention, as always, that these tarot cards are always correct. Okay. Sometimes as the interpreter, I might not be able to attribute each of these cards to your particular circumstances. And that's why I ask you to connect directly with the cards, with the images and the energies. Use your own intuition to go beyond the words that I'm saying, okay? I think that's good advice right there. Okay, so the path of the serpent, general energy, we got a 4. 4 of Cups here. Not really what I would expect, given that we have a 2 of Cups over here, and it seems there's been this connection. I think this is kind of like a little bit of the hesitation that we feel. I feel like you are the kind of person, again, who doesn't mind kind of idling for a moment. You know, you would rather experience this kind of this idle state, this just balanced calm, this peace, to assess things and to make sure that all, your heart's in the right spot and everything's, good to go, rather than just raising anchor and setting sail and just charging right into a storm. Okay, so this to me is a little bit of that kind of emotional hesitation. That we feel all of this, like the path of the dove is really pretty special, right? And it shows a little bit of this checking in with the higher self to make sure there are no red flags and no warning lights. But emotionally, I feel like you're a little bit held back. You're a little bit protective with your emotions. And I wonder if there isn't something going further back in the past for you that is causing you in some way to, I don't know, maybe doubt the validity of this thing, or to believe that it's too good to be true. It's like maybe things haven't quite worked out in the best possible way in the past. So when something like this is in your life and everything just is pointing to a big, yes, there's still that part of you that says, something's got to be wrong here. Okay. Emotionally, I don't think you're doing this consciously. I think that it could be this just an unconscious kind of motivation to almost to reject this thing, because part of you is convinced it can't be real. It can't be what it feels like. It can't be this good. So you'd rather just pull back and just kind of just sit there with your arms folded and not feel it, not move on it, rather than taking this risk, I guess. And again, this is a small part of you, I think an unconscious part, that would rather just kind of sit there and pout and not go and not move, just refuse, just be stubborn and not budge, rather than taking that risk going forward. Risk getting hurt, of course. But I think it's a small part of you that feels that way. I think the rest of you, consciously, spiritually, I think you're ready to go. And this checking in, like I said, with your higher self to make sure there are no red flags, feels like this feels like a different part of you. This feels like some kind of past issues or past trauma that is just kind of always in disbelief mode, always expecting the worst kind of mode. And this is a small part of you, but it's here in terms of your general energy. So I wonder if this isn't the more subtle or unconscious motivation for this little pause that we're in right now. This slight hesitation, this checking in, this waiting for this confirmation. It could be that there is part of you that really wants to avoid this altogether because of the emotional risk involved. Let's see how the rest of this energy goes. In terms of your environment, I wonder if there is an Aries person that is involved in some of this. This is the Emperor card. I feel maybe there is an an Aries person. I don't know if this could be the person. It could be a T or a Z name involved there. Anytime I get a major arcana card in this position, I start to get kind of a letter sound, maybe a T or a Z, maybe a combo, you know. In relation to the person or entity that we're talking about, the company or whatever, right? T or Z. And they might be an Aries person, but I think that the situation itself has this quality of authority for you. So if it is an employer, that makes sense, right? Because you have to kind of submit to that authority. But I almost feel like the environment is one where you do have to submit to it in some way, and that seems a little confusing to me. Given all of this other energy, and if this is a romantic thing, I don't know what it is that you would have to submit to exactly. Okay, so I don't know if this is resonating with you. It's not resonating with me right now. I'll be honest with you. It feels like there's some kind of authority thing involved. And I don't know how that would be if this is a romantic thing. Maybe this is all business. Maybe this is all business. And that would make perfect sense. This is you have to submit your energy. You have to kind of surrender to that and accept that force in your life. You know, accept that power in your life. If it's a employer-employee kind of relationship. But if this is two individuals, I don't know how that plays into it. I don't know if that is maybe what we're getting a little bit of this Four of Cups from. This not desiring ever again to submit to another person in that way, in a relationship that's supposed to be equal. Maybe that is kind of what's going on here with the past. Maybe there was a person in your life that was quite dominating and had a kind of a controlling vibe to them. And maybe that's where we're getting this kind of Four of Cups energy from. It could be. It could be that. I don't want to stay here too long. I don't want to linger here. The Path of the Dove is really great energy. I see this thing really creating tremendous results and success for you. A lot of fulfillment here with this thing that you're doing. And the next card that we get, indeed, is the Ace of Pentacles. And this is showing really kind of the princess is holding that ace. You see right there? She's holding that disc, and there's that disc right there. So she is literally bringing this new object, this new materialization, this new life, this new joint property, this new income source, this new life, puppy, child, perhaps. So it's literally the manifestation of these things. And, I think that is such a beautiful thing. And I think it's what you want in this situation. There are no red flags here. There are no warning lights, no caution tape, nothing. It seems like a green light, but yet we have this little bit of hesitation, which I think is related to this Four of Cups and this Emperor energy. But in terms of this particular situation, it all seems good to go. And maybe that will be the confirmation that you get from your guardian angels, your spirit guides, God, goddess, deity, universal mind, whatever it is, your true self. Because I feel like this is what you want, and you see this beautiful future symbolized by this ace, and this is what you want. This is the beautiful future, the manifestation of all your highest ideals, your dreams, and there's yet a little hesitation. Okay. The next card that we see, the Nine of Swords, not my favorite card in any tarot deck. This Nine of Swords is, I think, really having to look at the reasons behind this hesitation. At first I thought it was just a little bit of a checking in. It's this little bit of caution that you have. But I kind of see now, I'm feeling like it's going a little deeper than that. And there's more of an origin to this hesitation. And this Nine of Swords is saying, take a good hard look internally. And in this hermit period, is the perfect time to do that with this introspection. And figure this thing out, analyze this. What is it that's keeping you from going forward with this situation? Which seems to me, every indication is that it's going to be really nice. So this is that kind of long, hard look inside to see what's going on here. And be honest with yourself. And be honest with the other person too. If it's something that is starting to kind of affect the dynamic there, it might be a conversation that the two of you need to have, I don't know. Could be an indication to seek counseling, to seek, a professional way to deal with some of these past issues. If I'm correct about the Four of Cups and the Emperor, it feels to me like something that's not been quite dealt with or integrated or assimilated yet. So it might be an opportunity for the professional route, to deal with some of these issues so that they don't affect this really wonderful thing that you've got going. Really feels like a wonderful thing. Anyway, let's look at this mystery card and see what's going on here. I don't know, this may be an Empress card, maybe a 9 or a 10 of Pentacles, discs. It could be a 6 of Cups. I'm feeling the 6 of Cups. No, we've got this 7 of Pentacles. Now this seems like a dark card. This seems like a card where this nice, beautiful tree here just wasn't getting the water it needed, wasn't getting the sunlight it needed, wasn't in the right kind of soil, and look what happened to it. It didn't produce any fruit at all. It was a complete dud. So the confirmation here, I think, is what we are kind of risking. How do we want this? Because this is, still about this caution that you have, this kind of self-preservation, this protection that you have. And really wanting to take things slow and look at the details and make sure there are no red flags. There's two ways that energy can go. This or this. What do we want this tree to produce fruit, or are we going to just spend too much time in this hermit mode, in this hesitation, and our tree is going to wither? And the fruit of that tree is, of course, this Ace of Pentacles. So the confirmation here, this mystery card, is just saying, look, there's the risk here that we're going to hesitate too long. At first I thought this is just a quick thing, just, you got to just kind of check in. It feels like through that checking in, though, you might be stirring up some of these old emotions. And those have to be dealt with. And I think if they're not, we run the risk of really allowing this tree to wither. So I think that's the kind of confirmation that we're getting. And that's like, it's kind of not so much the either or, but this is like the risk. This is the potential, like the worst possible outcome. And these two, obviously all of these really are the best possible outcome. But this is kind of what could happen. And I think this would be due to too much of this hesitation, and not dealing with these issues are going to lead to the decay of this current thing that you've got going on, which I feel like really has great potential, really has fantastic results down the road. Okay. Anyway, Gemini, we're going to do an extended. If you want to check that out, click on the link that's right up here, and that'll give you access to all of the extended readings. This was your weekly tarot reading for February 5th through February 11th here on Dove and Serpent Tarot.